Wagwan YouTube, you know it's your boy Clicked, and I'm back with a banger for you guys. Today we're gonna be looking at old school game titles, and if you know what I'm talking about, this is like way back, like the '90s, Super Mario, Super Nintendo, like that's the titles. Those are the titles we're gonna be looking at. And this video is brought to us by Scott the Waz, so I'll be dropping the link to his channel in the description below. But yeah, I'm super amped to see what games are going to be popping up. I think even Super Smash Bros, like Nintendo 64, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, like that whole time frame of like what poppin' games were going on back then, that's what we're going to be looking at today. And like even the reason they were named that or stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. I watched a little snippet of the video. Seems cool so far, so we're just going to get right into it. Guys, if you're not clicked up, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, drop a like, comment down below, tell me which one of these games had you guys for the longest time. Which one was your favorite? I'll let you know right now. Super Mario's was it for me, you know? But we're going to get right into it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Can't escape it. We all have to refer to a video game by its title at some point. You can only get so far without it.
Give them rats.
So far is pretty damn far. That just shows how important a good title is, because without it, I would have no goddamn idea what this game is about. Titles are oftentimes conglomerates of words that sound nice together, but ultimately make no sense when you analyze them. Elden Ring? Nah, old circle. But we're so used to how games are titled now that we don't think twice about a game called Concrete Genie.
No, naturally.
So let's start by analyzing these things and how the most popular game series of all time's name makes no damn sense. Super Mario Brothers. What just came out of my mouth? Dad? Platforming game starring...
Honestly, to be fair, him saying it like that, it doesn't sound weird. But I get what he's trying to say.
Brothers Mario and Luigi, but Mario is obviously the main star. Luigi only comes into play when playing multiplayer. And they're super because...
What I don't know is Luigi the older brother or younger brother? Like, do you guys know? Let me know in the comments.
One, the game before this one was titled Mario Brothers. And two, the Super Mushroom power-up transforms them into Super Mario and Super Luigi. So the title doesn't necessarily make any sense. It's just a checklist. So it's no wonder they dropped the Brothers moniker a bit in. Retroactively, Nintendo did confirm that Mario and Luigi's last name is Mario. God, f their parents. But I don't think they thought that far ahead when titling this game back in the 80s. Honest to God, this reads like a translation flub. After Super Mario Bros. 3, Nintendo started naming Mario titles Super Mario Blank, Super Mario Land, World, even spin-offs like Super Mario Kart. It's definitely an evolutionary step for a franchise.
Oh, wow. I forgot that this was the first Mario Kart. What was this on? Game Boy Advance, I believe. Or Nintendo SP.
People understand your series, you no longer have to worry about your title
being
anything
lit.
elegant. It just has to get the job done. Oh, what's this? Mario Golf.
Party?
When you have
wait,
so many
I
titles
never
in a
played that
series, it becomes harder and harder to name each one something unique, making some titles interchangeable.
Nah.
Eventually, we got Super Mario 3D Land and Super Mario 3D World.
FIFA 1, 2, 3, all the way.
To describe the actual games. It's Super Mario in a 3D land. Okay, well, what makes that so different from Super Mario in a 3D world?
I've never played this one.
At that point, why wasn't the first
3D... bro, this on Nintendo 64? This was the shit, man. Can't lie.
Mario game not titled something like this, and instead it was titled, and you fucking wonder why people don't take video games seriously.
Super Mario
64. Following
Nintendo
a titling
64
scheme of including the console the game is on in the title. It really helps answering that question. Give me a second. This can be something fairly mundane, like how many Super Nintendo games start with Super in the title. That means
yeah,
Super
that is funny.
Super Soccer,
I
Super
was taking
Metroid,
that in.
all fine and good, but I mean, for a game as serious as Super Metroid, with the title screen being decorated with corpses,
bro, remember this game, bro?
Like it takes away from how
I don't think I beat it.
Can be, and almost seems to dumb it down.
I remember this game, and I don't think I beat even this boss, to be honest.
To simply being Metroid, but bigger. But it's such an iconic title in gaming that it just feels right. Super Castlevania 4, though.
Castlevania? Nintendo 64, though? I don't know this one.
Fine. If they just called it Super Castlevania, fine.
I don't remember this one, but Castlevania on Nintendo 64 was lit.
To the original Castlevania, but no, it reads as if there's some standard Castlevania 4.
What mattered about beating video games, you know? Everybody wanted to be like in Jamaica was a thing. They'd be like, "Yo, you zero the game already." Like zero means beat the game, right? Like, yeah.
The Castlevania series does have a fairly consistent titling method, usually going for the subtitle of Blank of Blank. Rondo of Blood, Symphony of the Night, Circle of the Moon. Oh, some of these actually sneak in some cute acronyms. Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow was the first Castlevania on the DS. Castlevania Harmony of Despair was released on the HD consoles at the time. Castlevania Lords of Shadow Mirror of Fate, outside of being a prime example of two whole subtitles, both using the Blank of Blank format, released on the Nintendo 3DS. So Mirror of Fate kind of alludes to the illusion-filled screen on the portable.
Wait, what Street Fighter was that? Because that was some epic graphics there.
In their titles. But most of these are fine by me, even the ones that don't follow the format. Castlevania Bloodlines, I think about good names for vampire-based
I did not know Castlevania had this much like previous Castlevania games.
A lot. And this one's a close second. So it shocks me to see the series stoop to the low of this. Witness tampering. Castlevania. Just Castlevania. Is there anything special about 64? This one? Like, is it a fresh start for the franchise? A reboot? A remake? No, it's just the first 3D Castlevania. Good for it. I got out of bed this morning, so I accomplished something too. Let's forget my dad was ever a thing. This
really
is a scenario where the overused 64 subtitle for Nintendo 64 games would have been completely welcome.
Bro, that game was
lit.
Case,
most fans just end up calling the game Castlevania 64 because what else are you gonna call it? Well, yeah, but what system is it for? Nintendo 64 games, I feel like at least a third of the library must have 64 in the title. With Super Nintendo,
nothing wrong with that.
Super in the names at least worked both in the context of being a standalone title.
Nintendo 64 is from from Nintendo, right?
What does this number have to do with Donkey Kong? The use of 64 in these titles could oftentimes be confusing. It doesn't imply that
nobody cared about that back then.
Super Mario 64 sort of set the precedent, so with a game like Mega Man 64,
Jeez.
I'm sure many fans thought, oh, this is Mega Man's next big step.
My next big step is going to Denny's for the second night in a row.
It's a port of Mega Man Legends from the PlayStation.
Mega Man was lit too.
Mega Man Legends, or if your fetish is that crippling,
I don't think this is the one I played.
Legends.
I think I played Mega Man on Game Boy Advance or Game Boy SP, I think.
64. Duke Nukem 64 was just the Nintendo 64 version of Duke Nukem.
Bro, this was the first basic COD. Duke Nukem was before, I think, James Bond too, no? If I'm not mistaken. GoldenEye before that. Wow. It's on PC, I 3D.
think. But Doom 64 is an entire
Doom is the next one too.
Doom series. So much so that it received a modern remaster. Yet many people always assumed it was just a port of the original Doom. But then you have Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards.
I didn't know Kirby had her own game.
What's the point
if it's a her, I don't
game?
even know.
You already have a subtitle. Putting 64 in the titles of these games almost feel like these companies were beckoning to fans who only had the Nintendo 64. Like, I mean, hey, finally, a Mega Man for you! But, hey,
I think that's what it was.
64 became an iconic number within the gaming
Mario
community.
Kart was
it's
too
so
lit.
specific that when you put it in a title, people know what it means, and it definitely rolls off the tongue with a lot of these names. Monopoly for Nintendo Switch.
What? Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say Nintendo 64.
Could you be more specific?
This is a trend I will never fully understand. How some game titles do the for Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch Edition sometimes.
That's what it
I
is.
see this mostly
I don't see nothing's wrong with that.
But other systems aren't immune.
Bro, honestly, I would play that City Skylines game. I think I want to play one of those games where you like design the city and stuff. I think it's cool. Don't Starve Nintendo Switch Edition. The hell is Don't Starve?
With for Nintendo Switch in the title isn't like super optimized for Nintendo Switch or has crazy unique features. It's the same as any other multi-plat version, and 9.5 times out of 10, it's a digital-only release, which means you can only find it by going on that system's specific storefront. No fucking shit. Oh, this is the Nintendo Switch Edition? Really? Nintendo gets this treatment the most. I mean, Yakuza 1 and 2 HD on PS3.
Oh, Yakuza
1 and 2 HD.
Yakuza is basically like an Asian GTA, I swear. Like, I think that was their way of saying, hey, man, we got this to compete. Huh?
HD for Wii U.
Los Santos, here we go,
Yakuza. They've
Yakuza.
done this themselves, most notably with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS, but also with Super Mario Maker for Nintendo 3DS, Brain Training for Nintendo Switch, etc.
Yeah, the way the man's making it sounds so bad.
I mean, Smash
Yo, what
Wii
is
U
this?
And 3DS have the same characters and roughly the same gameplay.
Was that Ken or Ryu in Super Smash Bros? I didn't know that they did that.
But there are some unique features on Wii U, like swimming and climbing ladders, different stages and modes across both games. They're different titles, but the same. So what else would you call them? But I think using the console's name in a video game title just goes to show how potentially lacking of character that specific game has. Damn, you're no nonsense today. The identity of this video game is that it's on a video game console. Sometimes I swear companies do this to mask what their game truly is. Rayman DS, it's Rayman 2. Rayman 3D, it's Rayman 2. Rayman Revolution, god damn, we get it. They're synonyms.
I didn't have that because I don't think I could afford, or my parents could afford video games at that time when Rayman was out. But because that was like PlayStation 2, I believe. But
well, you think people are gonna buy these games because they think it'll be a completely new Rayman game? Judging on the back of Rayman DS and 3D make absolutely no mention of these being re-releases, and how I keep buying copies of Rayman 3D thinking it's not Rayman 2. It's clear this is another case of titling trickery. I'd honestly say this is borderline false advertising. Like Power Punch 2. There ain't no Power Punch 1. Which shows just how good the sequel is if they jump straight to 2. So this game was originally developed as a sequel to Punch-Out, but publisher Nintendo dropped out during production, so the developer just just released it as their own original game,
OG
but
boxing
since they
game.
didn't
That's
have
crazy.
the rights to the Punch-Out name, they renamed it to Power Punch and added a 2 to the mix as I
missed
guess
all
they still viewed
punches.
it as a sequel. I mean, it just goes to show how powerful a number in a
Kingdom
title
Hearts
can be with a
has
sequel.
a lot
You
of
have
titles.
A billion-ass Kingdom Hearts games released between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3. Like, literally, there was a mainline Kingdom Hearts game released on the Nintendo 3DS in 2012, and 1 year later, people still lost their minds over Kingdom Hearts 3 being announced at E3 2013, as if it's been so long since the last Kingdom Hearts. But you know what just rubs me the wrong way? When a series flip-flops between using Roman numerals and standard numbers for sequels. Ninja Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3. I hope the fourth one uses tally marks. And is a part of the Blackout series. It's that inconsistency that doesn't necessarily bother me, but just perplexes me. Like, why?
Honestly, back then I thought these graphics
especially when some games have subtitles and some don't. Like Resident Evil had this perfect string of sequel names, but then 3 just had to include Nemesis in the title. Hey, sometimes it's okay to stick out a little bit, and 3 thankfully wasn't the only one to do so. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. So they switched over to Roman numerals for this one.
I think this one's
it's all a part of the logo,
scary game,
highlighting the V, I, and part of the L in evil to make a 7. Then the subtitle Biohazard is actually the title of the Resident Evil franchise in Japan.
Bro,
so over there,
tell me that you guys remember PlayStation where you would have to put the CD in and you would hear it spin, and if it stopped working, like there's so many things, or the memory card that you'd have to put into the slot. Oh my god. And we still have those issues to deal with today. Like, can you believe that? Of PlayStation 5, not enough memory because of a Warzone download.
There, the game is actually called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil, with the 7 coming out of the Z in Biohazard. Just everything about these titles and logos are so clever and cool. I love them. It is weird, though, that while the subtitle being Biohazard is great and all, it doesn't really make a ton of sense. For this specific game, with this specific story, I'm not sure how well the term Biohazard represents it.
It's just more
of a cute nod to the series title in Japan, rather than an effective subtitle.
Yeah.
And also, even with the English logo using a Roman numeral, most official listings of the game give it a standard number 7. But then with the next Resident Evil game, it followed the same format, had the Roman numeral 8 in the logo. That's not a part of the official name. It's not Resident Evil 8 Village, it's just Resident Evil Village. Why is the logo like this then? It's like Horizon Forbidden West. They put this Roman numeral 2 right here, but never refer to it when talking about the game. Maybe it's a pause button. But these specific cases, I can live with. Well, not for an extended period of time. They don't irritate me, they just perplex me. Now, sequel titles that do irritate me, well, less so irritate, more so enable.
Guys, the nostalgia is really real, man. Like, these games on the list are pretty, like, retro, right? Am I right? But that is it for this one. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.